welcome back. So now I'll be speaking to Arlette Lee. Hello, Arlette.
Hi, Chrissy.
How are you?
Brilliant.
Now, I just have to correct something that I said earlier, because Arlette, you didn't hate your former job.
I loved my
You
job.
loved your former job, actually. Sorry, I said hated at the beginning. But it's just because you felt like something was missing. There was more.
Exactly.
Something you wanted to do more of.
I had been doing this job for a long time, and it felt like I was living this robotic lifestyle, and simply got to a point that I thought a change would be good.
Yeah. So how long were you there for?
I worked with my colleagues for 7 years in one company, and it was a wonderful company, and I loved all my colleagues. I'm still friends with them, so I'm pleased we corrected that.
Sorry about that, guys. So tell us about what was it that you were actually going through, because I think it was quite a big thing of you to give up a job like that. Sometimes it's easy when you don't like a job to just up and leave, but when you do actually enjoy it and you like the people that you work with, but still you decide to leave, it must be quite a deep-rooted reason.
Yes, it was. Basically, I embarked on all of these courses trying to find myself, and nothing was really happening. And then I kept having this voice going off saying, "Come to New Zealand, Arlette, come to Peru." So
do you always want to travel, or was it something that just...
I've already travelled extensively, yet I hadn't been to Australia, Peru or New Zealand, so they were on my hit list.
Okay.
And I simply just had to go, had to experience this backpacker lifestyle, which all my friends had done, and travel with a backpack. So I handed in my notice, walked across the road.
What, just like that? You just like...
Well, I was in limbo for around 2 years, but it was actually one Christmas. I thought, New Year's coming, let's have a positive change, Arlette, and see what happens. And
then you just did it. Did you go by yourself, by the way?
Oh, I did.
Seriously?
And it was
all
brilliant.
Alone? Wow.
It was so liberating.
So brave.
It's funny because I don't actually see myself as being that brave doing it, because I was so used to doing things on my own. I'm quite comfortable in my own skin, yet I was a little apprehensive about leaving all the creature comforts of home, and I wasn't going to get that monthly paycheck. So simply I said, you have to try and go with the flow now and see what happens, instead of living this quite structured, linear life.
Gosh. So what was your first destination?
I went to Thailand first.
Thailand, okay.
Have you been to Thailand? Oh, it's incredible. I went to the most amazing wedding in Thailand. It was legendary, but that's another story.
Were you invited?
No, that one I was actually invited
to. That one, so there are others.
Actually, I've never gate crashed a wedding, but afterwards I ended up going to New Zealand, and that was a place I had always wanted to go to, and was the start of my journey, really discovering what I was about and what I wanted to do later on in life, because I didn't feel I wanted to go back to finance. And it was actually in New Zealand that I had this epiphany, and I really didn't think those sorts of things happened, but it did. It was this light bulb. It just went off and said, work with artisans internationally.
Sometimes I think you just have to get away from certain things, and it's like your mind is clearer to think, and you're more, I think, open to ideas and things that come.
Exactly.
And then you can get these brilliant ideas, which is why it's really important for everyone just to take time out. You don't necessarily have to go travel the world like you did, but even just to take some time out, just to be by yourself and just to think, because that's when the best ideas come. And you had that moment.
I did.
So what was it that you developed, that you discovered?
So I then went on to, if I may go back a little, I went on travelling, and eventually I arrived in South America, and I felt cold and warm, similar to what we've been saying in the studio here, this changeable temperatures. And I was travelling with this light backpack. I wanted to keep it light, and I was living my life with this mantra, less is more. Mm-hmm. So I thought it would be wonderful to have one practical garment to wear all weathers, all occasions, and look fabulous in. Yet I wasn't able to find one. Instead, I had coats hanging off my backpack, and I ended up looking like a bag lady, Chrissy, which wasn't really the image. No, not at all. But mind you, I only had one pair of flip-flops and a pair of hiking boots. So what I developed was a ruana, which is a style of cape, and it's native to South America, this garment. They all wear it there. It's part of their lifestyle, and it can be worn in extreme temperatures because they generally make it with alpaca, but it's a blend. So once I found these ruanas and learnt more about alpaca.
And just for the benefit of the viewers that don't know what alpaca are, can you just describe what kind of animal they are? Or do we have any? I don't know if we have any pictures of them, but can you describe what they are?
They're a South American camelid, and they look similar to llamas. I think you might have seen them at the zoo.
I did see it. Oh, there they are. I've seen a couple in London Zoo. Yeah.
They're quirky, a bit like myself.
So you discovered that their fur is very...
It's a sumptuous fur, and it's got these fantastic thermal properties. So I have one here to show.
Can we take a look?
Absolutely.
Oh wow, it's really soft.
It is. It's super soft, very lightweight,
wow.
And each piece is handcrafted. I'd love to use to model it, and I can show you various ways you can wear it.
Okay, we've got a couple of minutes before the break. Okay, so
exactly.
Is it this way?
So,
okay,
yes.
got it right. Okay,
and then you can wear it loose, or you can have it belted up. Exactly.
Oh, true, you can put a belt around it.
Or you can flick it over your shoulder and wear it with a brooch. Some people use it as a blanket on planes, or you can do the whole look cruising around with it just thrown over one shoulder.
It's really nice and soft, wow.
And it's hypoallergenic, so that's why it feels good on your skin.
Yeah, it does, wow. Okay. So but how long did it take to actually get the ball rolling? And because it was just an idea initially.
Exactly.
And then how did you get it all moving? And
it probably took
nice
6 months of...
Nice throw.
Exactly, you can use it as a throw. It took around 6 months after I got back from my solo travel, doing a lot of the research, and then I had to get on the plane, and then I was scared because I had no idea what I was doing, how I was going to find people to make these pieces. I literally took myself out of my comfort zone, leap of faith, and said, you'll be okay, you have to do this. You want to showcase the artisanship of Peru, because it's incredible what they do, and they're so passionate about their craft. So I'd love to keep that going and bring a piece of that nature back to the world.
We're going to continue talking to you after the break, because I'd like to sort of know how you developed the business and maybe obstacles that you faced and how you got through that. And we're also going to talking to Karen Smedley, who's a career change expert, and talking about how to achieve success, even if it's something that it's a field that you're not familiar with. So do stay tuned. Okay, so Arlette, we've got a couple of minutes left. So tell us, obviously it hasn't been easy for you, but what's kept you going even though you faced some obstacles?
My passion for what I'm doing, and knowing I'm slowly climbing this mountain and I will reach the top. Which is brilliant, which is what Karen was saying, isn't it? Because there are people that are in jobs right now that are saying, oh, what if it doesn't work? What if I start something and it all goes wrong? But like she was saying, you can't speak negatively to ourselves like that. I think if people feel a bit stuck in a rut in their job, they need to make a conscious decision to take the time to reevaluate their lifestyle and what is really important to them. Because sometimes we think all the money and everything in the world will make us happy, but stripping back to basics, you rediscover who you are, and you may have an epiphany, or if you have an idea, go and follow it. It's there for a reason.
That's right, definitely. Oh, it's lovely talking to you.
Thank
really
you so
good,
much
and all
for your
the best
time.
with this brilliant business that you've got.
Thank you very much.
So
it's a
much
pleasure being here.
Thank you so much. Okay, so do stay tuned, because after the break I'll be answering a question from a viewer, and also we have Chris Brown with the Self-Development Clinic.